Gary's video about Snake Plisskenus, which I thought was very funny. I agree with pretty much the assessment of Snake, the complaint, yes, there's some common sense parts going over the head, the whole thing. But I wanted to talk about just the issue in general. Gary talks about, Gary makes a good defense of ideology. Because ideology, of course, is a terrible thing when people use an excuse and kill people. And in general, life to life, I don't think we should be have a dogmatic ideology. But I still think that there is something, you have to make a category. There's a lot of things collected under a category like environmentalism that are related, that don't have some other name in common, right? So, a lot of times these terms just come out. They should not hold you fast. There can be multiple types of attitude that lead someone to that category from different angles. There can also people just try to hijack it. One thing I hate in activism in general is, you have some group victimized. Well, people that want to pretend to be the victim, maybe they're just greedy if there's something to get out of it, or maybe they just want sympathy. Yeah, they run to that always. And then the counter-reactionary people are always like, see, look, they just want to be victims. You could look at the world and see what the situation is. With feminism, get back to me when there are sexist, like, kill people, forced girls to marry their rapist kind of things going on. Well, so that's just, but in the West, well, then tell the feminists they should pay attention to the international thing, because I know international activists. That's who I'm thinking of when you say feminists, people that have dedicated their life to actual vital issues. What are you thinking of, bloggers? Fuck that. But now, I agree, this is one of those things where I'm glad everybody has a different view. I don't want everybody to agree with me on this. It's like, spread out. And Gary has, in a lot of ways, a classical view that you are trying to sell a message. Now, I believe in trying to sell messages if you have a particular reason to, right? I think there's also a particular reason to not sell the message, to give it away. And if you give it away, I don't know about sexing it up. To me, it's like, if you're going to give away diamonds, just leave them in there with the bucket of dirt. Or so, I don't know, there's something about don't wash them off. I don't understand. You either sell it or you don't sell it. If you don't sell it, then, don't put it in the pretty package, just make it raw information. But that's what I'm saying. That's just what I like. I also see how that's a compatible thing. You can still interpret what I'm trying to do is selling these ideas. To me, though, there's a real difference, because I am just using the internet as a kind of reflective surface, and also as an ocean to go, or cave to go spelunk around in with the flashlight. And I'm just curious with where I am at a particular moment. I don't want to see, a big vista. I'm not interested in the popular channels or being a popular channel. So it's like, to me, that there's decision related to that. I can see going, what, people need to, the world would be better, because there's an activist element. And yet on the other hand, when I saw that there were people talk philosophy on YouTube, I'm like, I did think of it as a new kind of activism. Originally I was going to do political blogs on it, and I realized, because I decided politics isn't the real problem, not people's politics. This is how they actually reason. It's that they don't understand logic. And when you teach logic to people, sometimes they don't teach me how to think. But in reality, once you learn logic, you see it doesn't tell someone how to think. It's how to take your own thoughts and process them in a coherent way. It doesn't contradict itself, so that you get 2 + 2 = 4 instead of 2 + 2 = apple. And yet even then, it's like, well, I don't want to promote it. I feel like, hey, look, here's something I discovered. And you put it up there, and it's like, I did my bit. And other people do that. And And it doesn't really matter if they're going, yay, look at this thing, oh yeah, I sold it, hey, it's pretty awesome, oh, extra intro. That's fine. But I just subtract all that out and I look, how much padding is there in this thing? Where's the real content? And there's a lot of ironies, like people that just make videos without editing them. It can make the video seem slower. But the genuine level, the genuineness of what you see is higher. So in reality, you get a more genuine message in a shorter period of time than watching 100 highly produced videos with cut shots, and mistakes. When someone misspeaks, they could cut it out going, hey, well, that made it unclear. On the other hand, it's like maybe it revealed that it isn't as clear as you thought. Maybe it added a bit of reality to what was being said. Yeah. And I really want everybody to spread out, do it all the different ways, because it goes right up to people that's like, they want to volunteer. They like editing and making a polished thing. They like song and dance, so that's what they're there to do. Great, I'm into filmmakers. And it goes right into filmmakers that are like, no, I'm literally here because I want to start make a living making films. Great, there should be a whole spectrum. Now, in the spectrum of people that talk ideas, it's a little more interesting. I mean, I think it's early in this phenomenon. It's just the first few decades, and I'm not sure if there'll be a long-term standard that sort of applies in general. I certainly don't mind editing the videos I do. I found, because it is kind of nice to have some cut shots, I guess we're just used to it, that I just randomly take the last couple of videos I've made and cut them into one video. And that way I can have both the whole video, assembled, but also do editing tricks, which are fun to play around with a little bit in a minimal way. So, how highly produced. I don't hold anything against someone in their video, but it is kind of funny when you see somebody just doing a regular vlog with too professional of a intro and then an ad. And then again, I'm fine if you want to make a living off of it, but then again, it puts you in the, plan to make a living off this category of participant, which does make a difference. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it makes a difference. Things have quality. They don't get judged in and of themselves, upon high, into heaven and hell, but they do have qualities. They relate to things in various ways. Deciding you want to get paid for your philosophy, that's what happened to the sophists. And then we got lawyers. So you see how that turned out. So Gary is more of a build a message and sell it, goddammit. And yet he also agrees with me that, popularity can be the sign of failure for sure. I think audiences, when you have the low watt fame, even in high watt fame, but then you're getting paid, you're making a living for yourself and your family, okay? But this low watt fame, the audiences just keep the people running. You always see people, I'm sorry I didn't make videos. I'm so sorry, I feel bad. I didn't even want to make this video because I just feel so bad. Anyway, it's just fun. But because I'm a skeptic, I see value in various schools of thought, and that's the positive way to think about an ideology, not as ideological, dogmatic in that framing, but just a school of thought, way of approaching a subject or all subjects. And see, what I would like is to have a website that fuses these things, where you could just do quick uploads, like right through the browser, but it would edit it somehow for the user. Maybe you could type a little code, or so they put text up, or spun, or change the filter, or did something like an editor would do, but just little bits at a time. Or, like turn a conversation, keep it raw. All the raw information is there, but have the software present it, like sports and news coverage is. And then this person said this, and do you want to see this person reply this? There's the title, God. But I am just developing my ideas here, and yet I also have presented ideas I came up with in my early 20s. I haven't really presented the ideas I came up with just in the last 10 years very much. There's old ideas I've had, and I bring up the new stuff. So for example, I've always thought all living things were conscious. I'm asking the question if they're aware, but I'm just saying I've always had that impression, just, from my observation, and I kept looking into it and studying it. I also expect that I had a book called Nature Thought of It First, so if we discover physics, I'm like, I'll bet that's used in nature somewhere in life. And so I also expected quantum mechanics, that there's a relationship. I see how some of the relationship, could be established possibly. Yeah. But see, it's an old idea, but so it's similar to something that I want to spread. I mean, I want to make it clear. For example, I get treated phantasmagorical enough for thinking living things want to be alive, that they want that they're aware of if not being alive, then through the opposite, they're aware of the fear of death. It somehow ends up that, and so I'm already treated phantasmagorical enough for that. That I thought it would be good to present an epistemology, a system of knowledge that I do in fact think that anybody can have it, because believing in the sort of the skeptical premises of logic in general, logos, all possible logics, and of investigation and reflection on things, it doesn't lead you to a particular end philosophy. It doesn't make you like basketball more than football, or football more than basketball. It doesn't have that kind of effect. But it can help you reason more consistently, which can help you, see things more ways, be more compatible with other people, find compromises, understand other schools of thought. So implicitly, possibly, I'm pushing that. But I see more than, to the degree that this is a way of getting my message out there. It's as seeds. I don't expect, when people say they agree with me right away, I'm like, I'll bet you didn't understand it. That's my first reaction. Online, in person, whatever. People go, well, but this part, that doesn't quite make sense over here, because the words need more words to describe that. Things can't be described in just an instant. Not real ideas that aren't just cliches, right? So to plant seeds, or for people to have disagreements among themselves. Often in comments, people have disagreements where it's like both these people are missing the point of what I'm saying, and then they finding between each other a disagreement. To me, that's productive. It's like that's a feature of the complex shape of the concepts in the video. So it's not, going for popularity to me, that's just obviously stupid. And yet, I see why people want to do it if they're making a living. I see why an activist would want to do it. But that's the thing, like, I could see, for example, doing that, making an activist page. But I just don't want to maintain more than one channel. I'd make an activist page and make only well-produced videos about some political subject. We should have IRV, and we should have public financing, whatever. Make it real polished. how would that mix with this kind of conversational stuff? So popularity in this kind of conversational stuff, like Amazing Atheistness, where, hey, I've figured out what I want to do for a living. Well, good for you, but, you know, it's a particular kind of skill. I mean, if you don't want to be a hack, you're going to have to aim real high. You're going to have to go for the Will Rogers and Mark Twain level of, you know, wordsmith, right? So good luck with that. All right, that's enough.